Did you know your face is the biggest reflector of your lifestyle? While coming to this venue, I kept looking for unhealthy faces of young people on the road, which further supported my intense desire of spreading awareness about a healthy lifestyle. Various scientific studies say that about 17 million people die prematurely because of global epidemic of largely preventable chronic disease or lifestyle diseases. The Telegraph published a study which stated that the combination of various unhealthy lifestyle factors may reduce age by 12 years. A local study conducted by Aga Khan University further says that the health of Pakistanis is increasingly affected by non-communicable or lifestyle diseases such as chronic back pain, migraine, or depression. Before I launch into the details of my presentation, let me rewind my life for you so that you can understand where my passion for correct eating comes from. My love for nature started blossoming within me at the tender age of 13 when I found myself consistently attracted towards books on various natural therapies. As a child, I began doing sun gazing exercises, breathing exercises, and yoga, all of which fulfilled something within me. At around the same time, I also developed a misconception that a doctor always has a firm grip on each of these natural sciences. My inclination to heal with nature helped me to take a decision to become a medical doctor. I thoroughly enjoyed my medical practice. However, during my internship, I felt disappointed from my seniors and the way we were trained to treat dying or serious patients. I will never forget the amount of anguish I went through while giving an injection directly into the heart of an almost dead patient to give a false impression that I was reviving the patient. There was nothing nature oriented in the hospitals. Medicines were full of side effects, procedures were invasive, all of which made me feel incredibly uncomfortable. So in 1988, I decided to initiate my private practice instead of coping for status oriented government hospital job. After about 10 years of my practice, I started feeling the accumulated burden of pharmaceutical companies, diagnostic labs, and their indirect ways of bribing doctors. I was offered gold jewelry and sponsored trips abroad, all of which I flat out refused. My seniors, on the other hand, enjoyed their overseas sponsored trips in addition to their children's weddings being paid for by these very pharmaceutical companies. I was trapped in a system which was in dire need of a transformation. By now, I had enjoyed the status of being a family physician for 15 years. I was blessed with fame, money, good reputation, but deep down in my heart, I was unhappy and in pain. No one at the time truly understood what I was going through, neither could I figure out why I was unhappy. By repeatedly telling lies to my chronic patients who were fighting for their ailments, I was pushed to the edge of despair because I knew they wouldn't make it. I started developing a level of guilt and lost interest in my practice. Then one fine morning, I gathered my energies to announce to my family, my friends, and my professional colleagues that I was going to pack up my busy clinic. I turned a deaf ear to my peers who thought I had lost my mind and said it their setup. At the same time, I invested into various degree programs in holistic nutrition, acupuncture, and integrative medicine from American institutes which were not very mainstream, yet they enlightened and honed my skills enormously. I began to feel confident enough to start my practice again, but this time without pharmaceutical drugs. In order to develop clarity about correct eating, I experimented on myself, my dear family, and even my cat. I started documenting the results and learned from my mistakes. Slowly, the knowledge combined with experience and inspiration started taking its form, and the result was my very own Synchronized Lifestyle Modification Program SLP, with 8 rules of correct eating as its key component. The other components are introduction of a body-compatible exercise, good night's sleep, and diffusion of day-to-day stress. SLP is nature-oriented diagnostic and therapeutic tools, and it is holistic, it is non-toxic, it is non-invasive, and offers budget-oriented food plans which are quantity and calorie-free with complementary positive effects. SLP was formally launched in 2003, and this was the time when I faced immense opposition from my fellow colleagues. When I was the master of my ship, I kept working closely with my patients. The disease cure rate was incredible, and today I can say happily that my SLP practice continues undeterred. In 2008, a 2-year retrospective study conducted on 2,542 patients coming to my integrative holistic care center concluded that a staggering 1664 were fighting their diseases only because of their unhealthy lifestyle. Another survey conducted in 2015 on 100 teenagers coming to my clinic concluded that none of them were having a healthy lifestyle. Their complaints were high blood pressure, raised cholesterol, obesity, depression, and above all, they were suffering from relationship disorders with multiple romantic breakups. So what was wrong with their lifestyle? They never had a timely breakfast. They were sleep deprived. They were grossly dehydrated. They were addicted to their screens. They were into drugs and never observed a discipline in their personal, social, emotional, or religious life. In this day and age, unfortunately, the unhealthy lifestyle diseases are turning into a major health catastrophe that we need to put an end to. So, in order to understand the solution, we have to go into the depth of a cell, the basic unit of a human being. We are an aggregate of 37.2 trillion cells vibrating non-stop in synchrony with nature. You can have an idea of that vibration by pressing your palms on your ears and listening to humming human machinery. Can you do that right now? Do you hear it? Okay, to be more precise, the body dynamics are regulated by a body clock fitted in brain, and it is in synchrony with sunrise and sunset. The sole objective of this body clock is to keep a harmony in the internal environment to protect you from contracting a disease. So the difference between health and disease is of lack of harmony. But back to 8 rules of correct eating. Correct eating aligns your external routine with the inner rhythm to give you harmony and subsequent healing. 8 rules of correct eating are a about having correct type of food, time of food, correct combinations, rotation, food temperature, food preference, and correct water intake. Interesting observation is, by following these 7 rules of correct eating, 8th rule of correct eating, that is how much to eat or quantity of food, is automatically regulated. Here I would like to share with you an interesting story of an obese girl who came to me for her weight loss, but she said that she was not ready to compromise on her food quantities. She was having 12 oranges, 1 standard pack of biscuit, and 1 pound cake in one go. That was too much. I told her that I could only help her if she was ready to organize her eating pattern, which she agreed to. She took 6 weeks to control her food quantities with ease and lost 45 kilos in 1 year. So the question is, what immediate modifications can be done to help the unhealthy youth? Simplest solution is start following only 3 golden rules of correct eating, which are about food timings, food combinations, and correct water intake. Here it goes. Start having your breakfast before 9 a.m. in the morning. According to TCM, which is traditional Chinese medicine, your digestive system is in optimum mode between 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Then, if you want to maintain your weight and your intellectual and emotional abilities, don't eat anything between 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. because this is the time body is performing intellectual functions and your digestive system goes into the secondary mode. Another vital time is between 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. when the system is again ready for food digestion. So have your dinner before 9 p.m. Another time which we normally are not careful about is between 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. when the liver is being rejuvenated and gets ready to perform its 500 functions the very next day. If you are up enjoying late night meals, doing net surfing, chatting, get ready for obesity, bloating, depression, abnormal food addictions, behavioral disorders, and abnormal cravings. Here again I can recall a story of a 22-year-old girl who came to me for her hormonal disorder, but while history taking, she told me that she was having intense desire to eat tissues. To my surprise, she told me that she finishes 1 tissue box of 500 tissues in 5 days. I modified her eating pattern, and after a month, can you guess what report she gave me? Now, she was having 500 tissues in 1 month. She took 6 months to overcome this bad craving, and her hormonal issue was resolved. The second rule is of food combinations. If you combine healthy foods which are not compatible, they can lead to the production of toxic metabolites or instead of giving healthy nutrients. One of the lethal combinations prevailing in all societies is the intake of fruits, sweets, juices, or drinks right after the complex meals. This combination gives a serious jolt to the internal environment and a series of chemical reactions starts, leading to initiation of a chronic disease. Another important combination is never drink milk without raw sugar. Milk without sugar can give you muscle or joint disorders. It can lead to digestive imbalances. It can cause various allergies. It promotes lactose intolerance and even can lead to initiation of cancer in the body. Similarly, one kills oneself gradually by habitually drinking tea, coffee, or milk with food. This combination impairs digestion, produces more acid, and leads to the foundation of a chronic disease. Third golden rule is about intake of water. Unfortunately, most of the youth are dehydrated. Start drinking room temperature water about 15 minutes before your meals or 1.5 hours after the meals, and drink between 3 to 5 liters of water every day to protect yourself from upcoming kidney diseases, dull skin, lethargy, or contracting constipation. My experience and observation is little bit of motivation and little changes in your lifestyle can give you reasonable holistic health. Major lifestyle changes can transform your holistic health, can reverse a chronic disorder, and protects you from your upcoming disorders. Before I leave you, think about your lifestyle and how can you modify it in a healthy way. Don't wait to don't wait to heal yourself after you get ill. Heal yourself